to Arthur Byarslanov. And for Branden Pizarro, his early loss, well, it came early in his pro career, just in his second year as a pro, at the hands of Christian Rivera. This one's scheduled for 10.
I think half the people in this building, Corey, are here for Pizarro tonight. Heavy support for the Philly native, North Philly native.
This is already starting to look like a 50-50 fight when you see both twitchy, both defensively responsible, both shooting out jabs.
I mean, we've been saying it all week. I'll be remiss if I don't mention the boots on Pizarro. I like the style. I like the stones on him.
I saw you wear something like that last night.
Look good, feel good, you fight good. That's what they say, right?
I've seen a couple guys look good.
It happens.
Feeling out process here in the early going. Both men trying to reach one another with the jabs, trying to touch one another's bodies. Can't quite get there. You mentioned, Barack, the twitchy movement, the footwork of both men. And now Mercado trying to jump on Pizarro early.
Right, because Pizarro landed a good jab to the body, and the smart, experienced Mercado said, okay, I got to get that point back. And that's what he did. He jumped on him,
Barack,
released some shots.
You mentioned that, at this point, there's no plan B for Pizarro. I mean, he said he's never had a job because he watched his father work so hard coming in after long days, and they still struggled, and he never wanted to live like that.
Yeah, his work is in the gym.
A heart-wrenching backstory for Branden Pizarro. Of course, his father, when Pizarro was young, was on his way home from his construction job to cash his check, got mugged by two men, and was basically unable to work. So the two of them were effectively unhoused for a period of time. And Pizarro decided, okay, at 16 years of age, I can start bringing some checks home.
What year was that? Hopefully that wasn't me.
You're not from Philly.
That's a good point.
Closing in on the final 30 seconds of the opening round.
You mentioned, he's from that dojo, that boot, Bozy Dungeon. He told us he gets a lot of work in with Boots Henderson, who walked him out earlier, and you can't get better sparring than that.
Yeah, but Mercado's making this very, very competitive.
Absolutely.
I think Mercado's looking for that check left hook.
Pizarro hasn't really landed anything significant so far.
Nice shot to the body with the right hand right before the bell there from Israel Mercado. We head back to the corners. A good opening round and a composed start for both men. Israel Mercado, the 30-year-old from Montclair, California. 2 fights ago, we saw Mercado here on DAZN putting the first blemish on the record of matchroom prospect Leonardo Rubalcava. He held him to a draw on the Pacheco-Nelson undercard. Guys, a lot of observers, felt that Mercado won that fight. Mercado claims that Robert Garcia, Rubalcava's trainer, came up to him after the fight and said, hey, you won that fight.
I don't believe that, but...
I've seen trainers do that. I don't think that's what happened. Who knows?
I've heard fighters say trainers do that. I've never saw it myself.
Well, I've seen trainers come to me and say,
not to the other fighter.
I would love to see punch stats. Because I'm wondering who actually landed more shots that first round. Maybe it was Mercado.
Very hard to
say. It seems like he threw maybe more shots. I'm not sure. And
right on cue.
Miraculously, they
check that out. The wonders of television production as we take a look at the punch stats. Pizarro, as of this second, throwing Mercado, not landing him, but just barely. And those stats indicate how competitive this one has been as the tempo picks up here.
He just landed a couple of left hooks here on the ropes.
And he just ate a right hand. Pizarro,
yeah.
But he ate it well. Seems to have a very fast jab, too.
Right hand on the inside there from Mercado. Cranks a nice left hook to the body of Pizarro as well, who comes back with a counter right hand.
That's when the feet should come into play. Don't just bend over and stand there and take the shots. Get out of the way. Angle.
Got to be careful there.
You got
Mercado
fast feet.
almost landed a sneaky right hand there. Got to keep that left hand up. And use that jab, because Barack, you pointed out that he's a lot faster. Has a fast jab. I think he needs to use that more. Gain better distance so he can land those shots. See that right hand, he's not at the right distance.
Nice right hand there from Pizarro. Mercado tries to get it back immediately, and he certainly has that thing in him, guys. When Mercado gets hit,
yes,
he goes after his opponent like he wants to erase that immediately.
Yeah, he wants to get his lick back right away.
And that's exactly what happened, and he was open for the jab, and Pizarro shot that jab.
I think Pizarro just needs to start. He's landing the jabs at times, but he needs to start putting a couple of punches together and land something to give, at least to make Mercado honest.
Seconds tick away here in round two. The action picking up at the 2300 arena.
Yeah, I think at the end of that round, Pizarro was just trying to win the round.
Boots Ennis. I think this is the third outfit change of the night for Boots Ennis, because he is a part of the camp of nearly everyone on the show tonight.
Yeah, it says a lot about him. Like he's a true stablemate,
yes,
you know, and support. As big as the star he is, he's out here on this card and has been out 3 times already.
I didn't notice the change of clothes, but maybe it's because each time he's sweating it out, jumping and yelling instructions. He's just totally vested, though.
I think it's because each fighter has taken the initiative of making their own merchandise, which you should do. That's good marketing.
Yes, indeed.
100%.
Having boots in your merch.
Round 3 underway. Branden Pizarro looking to pick up his 21st victory here tonight. Maybe sell some more T-shirts as well. But he's in tough tonight against Israel Mercado, who had his moments in the second round as well as they battle it out here on the inside.
He got pulled into that fire fight right there, but I think in the last round, maybe the last 30 seconds, he realized that I can actually control this fight with my jab. And I don't have to get into those exchanges.
I just don't like
when Mercado wants me to.
I don't like when he pulls back and just leans on a rope instead of turning. Obviously, Mercado sometimes lunges in, but if you turn him, you know, you make it a lot easier for yourself.
Now he has Mercado on the back foot a little bit. But he's feinting a lot. Got to let the hands go. There you go.
Good combination of good head movement from Mercado.
Yes, not getting hit flush.
Good right hand to the body landed Pizarro there.
Yeah, and I like the way he ducked the left hand first before he came in and then let that right hand go.
Guys, this is a high level of boxing that we're watching right now. It is not easy for either man to land anything. I mean, you have to feint, you have to work to land on either Pizarro or Mercado, who are both very, very adept defensive fighters.
Yeah, these guys have to work tonight for this one.
Right, you're not seeing a lot of heads popping back because these guys are very good defensively as well.
Yeah. No flush shots landed so far tonight. Good check hook by Pizarro there. It landed clean.
Oh, there we go. That was a good shot by Mercado. Overhand right.
Grazed.
Pizarro tries to get his look back.
And that is emboldened Mercado, who is on the hunt right now. Puts a couple shots together on the inside.
50-50 fight indeed.
Wow, good job, Landon.
Couple good right hands there from Mercado. Again, raising the chin of Pizarro and backing him up.
Who wants this fight to work?
Body shot there from Mercado.
Guys, the judges have it hard here tonight on this one because I can tell you how these rounds are going.
Well, in this particular round, Mercado just had, a couple of big shots. So he had the better moments, so he's probably winning this round right here.
Sweeping left hook there from Mercado. Back comes Pizarro with a counter off the ropes. This is an excellent round for Israel Mercado.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pizarro won the other 2 rounds. Like I said, in my opinion, this was early in the round when Mercado forced Pizarro to let his hands go on the inside while he was holding. And actually, that overhand right didn't land the way I thought it landed, looking at the replay. But like Corey said earlier, this is just a high-level fight where guys are defensively responsible.
It's round 4 underway. Doing a little housekeeping in the corner of Branden Pizarro and also at our commentary table as the entire ice bucket gave us an ice bath here.
That was a little hot. I appreciate that.
A little refreshing.
Not the kind that I pay $49.99 a month for at other ship either. Unexpected one.
Freebie. Boots yells out for Pizarro to push Mercado back, but not an easy task. No.
Here in the 4th round.
I think, a little body attack from Pizarro would do him well. Maybe slow Mercado down slightly.
Turn that jab into a power jab. Like that. Step into that. You want to push it back. Step into the jab. Don't just flick it out there. There you go. Step into the jab. Push the man back.
Good reply here from Pizarro. Pizarro definitely does not want that, what we saw in the opening minute of the round, to become a recurring pattern here where he finds himself with his back against the ropes too often. I know he's very comfortable there, but the optics in one of these tricky fights to score, it's just another tick, another box to tick for Mercado.
Doesn't look good.
You've seen that with Katz and Brandon Adams, where they're comfortable on the ropes, but the referee is seeing a man keeping you on the ropes and possibly the judges. So it's not always a great place to be, especially when you're the taller, longer fighter and a bit faster.
Unless you can land big shots off of the ropes, and he hasn't done that yet.
Oh, pretty strong left hook by Mercado there.
Pizarro rolling with some of these shots, but every one of these sequences, there's one of them that's sneaking in there from Mercado and not a ton coming back from Pizarro in those moments. This is where he's doing his best work, exactly.
In the middle of the ring, where he should stay.
Mercado instantly smothers him.
That's a great double jab, but you have to put a couple of punches behind that before Mercado can think to counter.
Double left hook there from Mercado. The second one lands to the body of Pizarro. Good stiff jab, though. Every time Pizarro assumes the control of the center of the ring, he immediately starts to have good moments.
Yeah, it's the best place for him, but Mercado is not allowing him to stay comfortable there because then he's obviously applying pressure and pushing him back to the ropes.
Yeah. And the thing is, because whenever Pizarro throws the jab when he's in the middle of the ring, it lands or it keeps Mercado away. But sometimes he doesn't take that step back if he's not going to throw enough to get out of distance when Mercado jumps in.
He's caught What do you like the most? That's the question for the judges.
I like to see circle in the middle of the ring instead of stepping all the way back to the ropes. And you do that with the jab. You're still going to make your opponent think.
Let's take a look at the DAZN YouTube poll. And the fans in favor of Branden Pizarro right now. 56-44. I mean, that seems to be a fairly even split in terms of the opinion of the audience thus far.
And like we said, 50-50 fight.
Back to action here, round 5 underway. This one is flying by, guys. This is high-tempo, thinking man's boxing here between Branden Pizarro and Israel Mercado.
Absolutely. You got to count those jabs, though, Corey. You know, oftentimes we overlook that because we're looking at power shots, but Mercado's landed a lot of jabs in this fight.
Pizarro trying to do the very same. A couple landed to the body a moment ago, and now he sneaks to the inside with a right hand to the body as well.
Whoever wins this fight, they're going to deserve whatever ranking they get in the super lightweight division, for sure.
As you mentioned, the NABA super lightweight title on the line in this one.
You see those combinations in the middle ring. I like to see Pizarro maybe sit on those shots a little bit more, especially the body shots. Put some mustard on it. But good work, good combination by Pizarro.
I saw that. Pizarro just threw a left uppercut. He was there, it was open, he was just off.
Oh, good left hook there from Mercado.
Little sweat flies our way.
Thanks for catching all of it so it didn't hit us.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
The sweat guy. Punches landed or not, it's just Pizarro just looks so much more control when he fights it in the middle of the ring at the right distance.
Yeah.
And the body from Pizarro a moment ago.
And he does control the fights in spurts at those moments. But when he takes a break and heads to the rope is when Mercado starts to make his mark.
Punching in and getting off the ropes.
You know, Mercado's he's probably not winning this round, at least to this point, but one thing he does well here, guys, is when Pizarro clearly wants to take a little bit of a break or wants to slow the action down, he's not allowing it. He's galloping after Pizarro to try and deny him that rest as he lands a nice chopping right hand.
They both traded some good shots, but that last right hand by Mercado just looked good.
Right hand there from Pizarro. Good reply. He comes back with another one.
This is a round of replies.
Answer backs. That's right.
This is like the email thread that gets up to about 50 replies.
Or if it's Aka's voice notes.
Absolutely. Who's getting the message here in this round?
Nice right hand to the body there from Mercado, right along the belt line of Pizarro as the seconds tick away here in the 5th. Good left hook from Mercado as well. Back and forth action here in our co-main event.
Halfway through this fight, guys, I mean, how are you scoring?
I don't know. I kind of would edge Pizarro on that one. They both had their moments. It seems like it was ebbs and flows. I just think that he was a little bit more in control of that round when he wanted to be.
Well, tomorrow night, Richardson Hitchens is defending his IBF Super Lightweight title in New York City against former Unified Lightweight champion George Kambosos, who is making his debut at 140 pounds. You can catch that one as part of your DAZN subscription.
And that's a great fight. And let me tell you why I feel like that's a great fight, because I seen the confident Kambosos. I thought he was overly confident against Teofimo, and he proved something that night. So could be a great fight tomorrow night.
Well, George Kambosos in that venue, you just always think there could be magic in the air.
Yeah, but Richardson is just a superb boxer.
Well, Corey, you'll be calling that one, huh?
That is correct, yeah. We're hopping on the Amtrak at about 8:20. Nice right hand there from Mercado as it goes downstairs to the body as well. Good little sequence there for Mercado, who has said that a lot of things in his past have prevented him from fully showcasing his skills. There have been nights where it looks like he put it together, but the judges didn't quite agree. There have been nights where he should have put it together, but couldn't do it in totality. Will tonight finally be the night that it all comes together for Mercado?
Well, he's taking this round so far, or he got his foot on the gas.
Will Pizarro make a statement here on his first opportunity on OTX?
Mercado starting to find a little bit of a flow here with his combinations. Sweeping left hook connected a couple of moments ago. Mercado just keeping Pizarro on the ropes right now.
And I'm not sure if it's condition and what's keeping him from staying in the middle of the ring, but a lot has to do with Mercado pressure. Pizarro lands a little flurry there, middle of the ring. You know, we say, Corey, that Pizarro looks great in the middle ring, and that's where he's having his best moments, but it's easier said than done to stay there when you got a guy like Mercado on you.
Exactly, and you know, some people have talked about the judging philosophy of breaking around into thirds. The first 2/3 of this round have been fairly easy to look at right now for Israel Mercado in this round.
Right. I think when Pizarro looks back at this fight, you know, at least this portion of it, he's going to realize that Mercado wasn't really cutting the ring off. He was allowing Mercado to push him back into the ropes.
Yeah. Yeah, see, right there, that's a great one, too. But
see, look, he's not cutting the ring off. He's just standing in front of him. He's getting in front of him, following him around, and Pizarro is choosing to back up.
This fight is going to be based on what the judges see and what they look for, what they favor in this type of fight.
Oh, this is kind of looks like a great round for Mercado. After
this is maybe the clearest round of the fight thus far, guys.
I agree with you.
And that'll do it for round 6.
a little urgency in the corner of Pizarro. You know, that's just the trainer knowing that their fighter can do better and do more.
He is explosive. He's done nothing for you. You see what he's saying? Wait, he's throwing. But counter punch. All right, counter punch. He's dead.
I've never seen this in the
El ataque ahora. Tú ahora, como no ves que le coja confianza. You don't got nothing. Look at his hands. Let's go.
Back to action here in a fascinating co-main event between Branden Pizarro and Israel Mercado. Momentum, I won't call it momentum swings, it's kind of wavered back and forth. That pendulum has been sticking near the center for most of this fight. That last round, probably the clearest round that you'll find in this fight, and probably a round for Israel Mercado.
I would agree with that. Sure. He's showing that he's very well conditioned. Worked his way inside again and doesn't want to let him off the hook.
It's good work here from Mercado.
Great work not letting him off the hook, not letting him off the corner.
Pizarro has to be careful with that left hand on the ropes leaning, because the right hand is He's coming in a little easier now. He has to keep that left guard up, especially on the ropes.
Sweeping left hook there from Mercado.
Pizarro tried to get that left hook back, but was blocked by Mercado.
It's been a little while since Pizarro has spent time on the front foot here in this fight.
That was smart to get off the ropes. Pizarro shot a good jab to the body of Mercado.
A sneaky uppercut there as well at the right hand from Pizarro.
And it's not that Mercado is landing a lot of clean shots. It's just a constant pressure towards the ropes and just being more imposing. I mean, he landed a good left hook there.
And of course, guys, boxing judging, I mean, it's judges coming up with an answer to questions like this fight where they're deciding nice right hand there from Mercado.
It's that left hand.
Is Pizarro luring Mercado in, or is Mercado making him back up? And I think that the more you look at this, it's Pizarro that is looking less comfortable in these moments, and certainly right now.
Yeah, and it's just that, you know, he's leaning his head to the right with that left hand gone, and that's why that right hand is coming in. And he kind of, you know, complains to the ref as he lands a good 1-2 off the ropes on the left hook. He needs to do more of that.
Yeah, but when you're square up against the ropes, it's hard to generate any power.
This lead left hook there from Mercado a moment ago as we close in on the final 10 seconds of round 7. Second half of this fight looking good for Israel Mercado.
Especially those last 2 rounds.
That seems to change a little bit. Before it was Pizarro up by 2 punches, and now we have Mercado up by 2 punches. Very competitive fight. I just see that the ties is changing a little bit, where there's more flush shots in those last 2 rounds than I've seen in the previous rounds.
I have to,
and that's coming from Mercado.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So Oscar Negrete in the corner of Israel Mercado. Of course, Negrete, a longtime contender in his own right, had 3 terrific fights with Joshua Franco, the brother of Bam Rodriguez. Now training a really good fighter here in Israel Mercado, who has turned it on in particular in the second half of this fight.
Well, we said in the beginning that this was a step-up fight for Pizarro, and Mercado came prepared. He came ready. Good movement by Mercado, but Pizarro timed him and caught him with the right hand.
Bit of an exaggerated pivot there from Mercado, but he just stays right on top of him, just placing these shots on the inside.
You see, that level of energy that Pizarro just showed in that moment is what we need to see more of if he's going to turn the second portion of this fight around. He has to sit on some of those punches to give Mercado something to think about. He's just been landing flurries. Exactly.
Good work there from Pizarro, fighting off the ropes, doing some good body work. He stabilizes things with a jab, but again, Mercado right on top of it.
We need to see more of that by Pizarro.
I just saw Mercado throw a bunch of shots, a bunch of combinations, probably missed most of those. But what does that look like to the judge?
Good combination landed by Pizarro again off the ropes. But how consistent are we going to see this? Throughout this round, so far, Pizarro has landed the cleaner shots, at least the clearer shots.
Yeah, if Pizarro is going to stick to this strategy for the rest of the fight, this is how he wants to execute it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, off of the ropes. Good body check.
Combination there from Pizarro, left hook to the body, and a sharp right hand as well.
Turn, not on the ropes.
Sneaky left hook to the body there from Mercado. Another 45 seconds of round 8.
Referee telling Mercado, don't lean in with your head. Don't lead with your head.
A razor-thin, hyper-competitive bout here between Pizarro and Mercado.
Good job on Mercado there. But at this point in the fight, they kind of sway these judges. We need to see overhand right's been sneaking in there for most of the night. I would say that's Mercado's best shot of this fight.
He's throwing fakes and feints before he's attempting it. That one missed at the end of the round.
I would say that Mercado, maybe if you're looking at clean punches, he maybe squeezed that round.
Mercado, you said?
No, I'm sorry, Pizarro. Pizarro won that round. See,
a couple of shots snuck in there by Mercado.
Good right hand. No, good work by both guys in this round. I just think that a lot of Mercado's shots missed, and I would say that Pizarro
gloves
or slipped, and I think Pizarro landed more of his. But still, tough.
Very competitive fight.
Co-main event between Branden Pizarro and Israel Mercado. Just looking to cause a little heartbreak for the Philly crowd here tonight. This is a man with 2 amateur wins over Stephen Fulton, who feels jokingly that he might have just a built-in advantage over Philly fighters. We'll see if he can pick up the win over a really good one here in Branden Pizarro as he goes back downstairs to the body.
Yeah, those wins were like 10 years ago, but Fulton's in the house tonight. You know, totally different fighter tonight. Oh, Mercado is relentless. He is staying on him.
Pizarro looking to his corner for instruction here. See if he can replicate that 8th round where, I think you're right. If you look at that round, that pot-shotting counter work that Pizarro did in round 8. It was still close, but one of the best rounds he's had in a little while.
Right, yes, indeed. And I think if he's not going to hurt Mercado, he needs to stick to that strategy at least for these next 2 rounds.
And Mercado's not just coming in recklessly. Like, already in this round, he's throwing feints. He's double jabbed his way in, and he's moving his head off the line before he comes inside. He's just a smart fighter.
Agreed.
And again, what we're seeing out of Mercado, we talk about cutting off the ring. Cutting off the ring doesn't mean pinning a man against the ropes all the time. Mercado is always in range to land his shots, and when Pizarro wants to make a move or land something, he typically has to slip something. He needs to deal with something like that. Hustle here from Mercado, but sharp counters from Pizarro there as well.
Yeah, cutting off the ring is you stepping in the direction that the fight is going at an angle.
Right, and making it difficult for them to make another move, exactly.
I think so far Pizarro is doing his best work where he's scoring his flurries and then moving and staying off of the ropes.
Oh, those are some good hard shots landed by Pizarro.
Sweeping left hook from Mercado as Pizarro turns the corner. Straight jabs in the center of the ring.
I'm thinking maybe Pizarro got his second win, because I would say earlier it looked like Mercado had, like he had a little bit more energy.
Crowd rallying behind Pizarro here, a big ticket seller in Philadelphia. One final right hand from Mercado right along the belt line of Pizarro. 3 minutes remaining in this one.
I have to say, Corey, I would give that round to Pizarro as well. Had the same strategy as the round before. Can he maintain that for this round? And we have an interesting scorecard.
Take a look at the punch stats to this point. Dead even in terms of total landed punches.
I love it. I love it. Higher percentage for Pizarro, throwing less.
And even the thrown punches, they only separated by 62 punches. Now it sounds like something, but this is
just a handful of punches per round.
Right, exactly. Right. You're talking about 9 rounds. That's less than 7 punches more.
10th and final round between Branden Pizarro and Israel Mercado. If the punch stats indicate anything, we've got a razor-thin fight that who knows? It could come down to this final fight, or final round, excuse me, which is also the money round. And Israel Mercado just galloping after Branden Pizarro right now.
Pizarro has to fight this round desperate.
Pizarro is weathering right now. The body language not positive from Pizarro there a moment ago.
Then he came back and tried to answer back. But these last 2 minutes,
it's not like Mercado's going to get tired. You're not going to tire himself out punching you.
So you got to put it all on the line on this round. This is a razor-thin fight.
Good response and stabilization here from Pizarro. That opening sequence in the round there for Pizarro. Again, the body language of Pizarro did not look good over there, but he has bounced back.
Yeah, 100%. Even right after that exchange, he came off the ropes and landed a couple of shots.
This left hook to the body there from Mercado. Good left hook, and you could see on the face of Pizarro wincing after that one. You caught that too, bro.
Yes, I did, but I also seen the referee say keep it up, so maybe now
might have been
the judge might have to say, okay, that wasn't a good shot.
Deep breaths from both men right now as we close in on the final minute of this contest.
Pizarro has to keep that right hand up because those left hands are sneaking in there.
Both hands. He's tired.
He's rolling with them, but they're still touching up top.
Left hook to the body there from Pizarro.
And a good jab from Mercado. I think Mercado feels like he's won this fight, or he's winning. Seems more confident.
He's certainly not resting on his laurels. He has been more aggressive in this round than in any other in the fight. Right on top of Pizarro, who lands a nice right hand there a moment ago.
Maybe he feels he needs this round to get this fight, Corey. Can in this last 25 seconds, and Pizarro steal the round.
Mercado, no doubt haunted by those decisions in the past that he felt he deserved against Rubalcava, against B. Arslanov. How do the judges have this one? If you ask Mercado, he already has this.
I think some of those rounds were very difficult for the judges to score.
Extremely.
I mean, you see what punch stats said last round. After 9 rounds, 122 dead even.
Well, even the YouTube poll is nearly dead even. 51% of our viewers who voted felt that Branden Pizarro was victorious. 49% voting for Israel Mercado. I like when the graphics back up what we've been talking about.
Oh,
the punch
100%.
stats are even, the fans feel it's even.
Right.
Makes it sound like we know what we're talking
Right,
about.
let's see what the judges think.
When you speak truth, that's what happens. Because beforehand, we were saying that this is a 50-50 fight. And that's exactly what happened. You got even fans are saying 51-49.
Take a look at the final punch stats. A 3-punch advantage for Israel Mercado. You see Pizarro landing at a higher percentage. Mercado outthrowing Pizarro, and no doubt owed to those final 2 rounds where he was extra busy. Started to pull away just in terms of the sheer volume there, Barack.
Yeah, absolutely. The rounds that he won were bigger rounds. You know, definitely he had bigger rounds. And that's what pressure looks like. And he was landing the more flush shots, I would say, and maybe even appeared to be harder shots. Didn't see either man actually hurt, even in that little sequence when Pizarro, you know, bent down and he just covered up. I don't think he was hurt at all.
Right. Well, and again, that can be difficult when it comes to scoring fights, because how wide you win your rounds doesn't actually matter. We're not in the WBC Grand Prix right now where that does matter. It does not here tonight, so this one is going to be very interesting, and the scorecards are in the hands of Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone 10 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at ringside, Robert Rubnitz, scores the contest 95-95, a draw. Overruled by Judge Mark Werlinski, who has it 97-93, and Bernard Bruni, who has it 96-94 for your winner by majority decision, and now the NABA Super Lightweight Champion, Israel Mercado.
So Israel Mercado, your winner. You heard the scores, 95-95, a draw, 97-93, and 96-94 in his favor. We talked about the heartbreaks that he's had, the tough decisions, how he's felt like things have gotten in the way of him putting it all together and him showcasing his skills. It all came together, both in terms of his performance and the verdict of the judges here tonight.